Okay. Let me even see if this is working here. Oh. Okay. Testing, testing. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, testing. Hello. Oh, lordy. Okay, folks. Welcome to another episode of VR Citizen. This is Advanced Setup Tutorials. We are going to do custom resolution. So, to kind of give you an update, I'm getting my new PC next week. And so this current rig that I'm playing on now will then become the streaming / recording rig. And the other rig that I have that's currently my streaming recording rig will now be a backup kind of gaming rig for other stuff and whatnot. So normally you would see my cameras and all sorts of stuff like that, but that's all attached to the current streaming rig, which is bound to my current gaming rig via a Elgato 4K capture card coming out of the gaming GPU and into the capture card in the streaming game in the streaming PC. I had to basically disconnect that to enable me to allow me to change the settings to get custom resolutions to allow the VR and Star Citizen to work a lot better. So with that, we are recording off of my gaming PC. I don't know how this is going to look, and we'll just see what happens here. But basically, I got it on OBS right now, just recording my primary monitor. And my secondary display, and you can see right here, these are the actual monitors. My 4K gaming monitor right here, my 1080p vertical, and then my 1080p horizontal. So 1, 3, and 2, all right, respectively. Why that's important is because on 2, or on 3, on 3, oh, can it not change? Oh, display 2. There we go. Okay, so on 2, this is the vertical monitor, and then on 3, or on 1, I have my VR headset mirror moded and full screened on that. So I'm going to try to attempt to show you as much as I can, possibly in VR in the headset and on the desktop and screens and stuff like that. So how I normally record and chop and edit my videos is I just do it all in one take, and then we throw it up on Twitch in that take, and then we chop it with the Twitch editor. I don't have as much hard drive space or editing tools as I'd like to, and it's just easier for me to envision in my head, do it live, rather than try to actually cut and edit it and do effects and stuff in post. Not that I don't want to learn that, but that's just kind of what I could do quickly and easily. So here we go. Alright, so starting with the guide itself. All of the footwork has basically been done by Mongrel, and you can find this post that I'm going to put below in my video to the Vorpex guide that he has for 3.11, 3.12 that came out around December or so. And basically what this is going to do is, as you can see, we're filming on the 4K monitor, and this is how the size of a normal 1080p monitor looks like. Okay, alright. So as far as canvas size, right now the canvas size that you're seeing this stream is at 4K. I don't know if I'll be able to upload it to YouTube in that, but just keep that in mind. Alright, so what we want to do is, currently, let's say that if this was the Star Citizen window, right? And running at, let's say, 1440p in this 4K monitor, okay? And let's say that if we want it to full screen in 4K, pretend that this is just Star Citizen or any game running or any window. We full screen the game at 4K, and then boom, it's playing on that, right? Now, you could also do the same when you like shrink it down to 1440, and this is how I run Star Citizen. Again, pretending that this window is any game running on your 4K monitor. But I run it in borderless, windowed mode in like 1440, and then I start Vorpex, and then it runs in VR. Now, the problem is that each eyeball's monitor inside your headset basically has a vertical monitor that looks like this. That is why you can't see your chat, which is located on this side. That's why you can't see your health or your ammo counter or any of that stuff like that, right? The same goes for even if the game was really big, because all that Vorpex is doing is taking the game feed, the .exe, and then sending that straight to your headset. So if you were able to create a custom resolution for Star Citizen to run in, that is a thin vertical strip, then that would force the edges of your screen to be right here, and then put your ammo counter and then your HP counter and all that stuff exactly where they need to be. The chat's still a bit wonky, but everything definitely feels a lot more like a head on the shoulders, and your HUD is shrank in to fit and size your headset. So how do we do this? Well, we use this handy dandy guide here. And this is visible on Spectrum, and again, we're going to link you this and show you everything. But if it were me, do a thorough reading of every single line of this guide, all the way including into the second part here, which does all the rendering stuff for Vorpex, and especially the last step here, number 9. This is the full steps of how to actually launch it in game, which I'll go through, and hopefully we'll be able to record and show, but basically read through the whole thing, and that will help you to understand kind of what's going on. And even if you don't understand what's going on exactly, still try to read through it and kind of know what you're going to be doing. But basically, what we're going to end up doing is you're going to need Vorpex, obviously, and you're going to need to create a custom resolution in the user CFG file in Star Citizen. And if you don't know where that is, and you probably don't, you go to Program Files, Robert Space Industries, Star Citizen, and then Live folder. And then from there, you right click and you go to New, and you go to Text Document, and then you literally name it user.cfg, and you create your own. This does not appear normally in the Star Citizen stuff. You have to force it to spawn or create your own, right? And so I'm going to delete that because I already have mine right here. Okay, so once you have your user.cfg in the Robert Space Industries, Star Citizen, and Live folder, okay, wherever that is, mine is in C in Program Files, then what you're going to want to do is input your custom resolution that your headset is into your user CFG, but not actually the custom resolution that your monitor runs in. You need a weird ratio of that. He goes into a big breakdown right here, but basically the ratio that we're looking for is width 2400 and height 1000. And so you're going to open up your user CFG, and you're going to copy and paste that r_width 2400, r_height equals 1000, and you're going to just copy and paste it, and then exit out, and then save it, and then boom. That's all you need to do from this side. Now, like I said, that is a ratio, right? That is going to help you do how... that's just the ratio that it needs to help size everything, okay? What you really need to do is create a custom resolution for the, I think, background, or one that helps the CFG user set the slider that suits your headset range. This is for FOV, and then a separate resolution that you need to play in. So this is basically going to create an actual resolution size that is pickable from the game menu. And how you do that is you go up to the Nvidia control panel. Right click and go to Nvidia control panel. Easy as that. And then from here we're looking at change resolution. And then we need to go to this customize button right here. Customize button, and then you create a custom resolution. And then in this window, as you can see right here, let's see here, if you want FOV range from 104 to 115, which covers the index, the Rift and Rift S, the HP Reverb G2, then you need to do the following two values in your user CRG. The width 2400 and height 1000. Okay, it's a ratio of these two values that seems to be important, not the absolute value. I'm just reading word for word here. So you could use smaller values with the same ratio if your GPU monitor won't allow you those specific custom resolutions. If using the index, you want to use an FOV of 114 and play at a resolution of 2180 by 2160. Okay, so in order for us to do that, we need both the 2400 by 1000 that we put into the CFG and the actual 2180 by 2160 resolution to be a customable selectable resolution in the Nvidia control panel or the AMD equivalent. And next week I have a full AMD rig coming in, so I'll be able to make a video tutorial of that. And I also have an Oculus Rift, so I might even make some extra tutorials mixing and matching. We'll see, depending on if y'all want those or not. Let me know in the comments below. Alright, so user CFG has set with the 2400 by 1000, so we need to create this custom resolution in the Nvidia control panel, create custom resolution window. So you type in the 2400 by 1000, and that's it, just 2400 and then 1000 over here. 2400. And then this one goes to 1000, and then you just hit test, and then when you test, it basically, here, hang on, we'll go to edit. So once you input it like that, you hit test. Well, dang, it won't. It'll make sure that that's possible, basically. And then once you do that, you create another one. And then this one you set to 2180 by 2160. Okay, so this one 2180 and then 2160 in the other one, and then you test, and then you create it, and then they should show up as two custom resolutions in this little tab right here. You want those both check marked, and then you want to hit OK, and then those will be able to be selectable in the drop-down menus of games, or I think in Windows now, to set your monitor to. All right, but you don't need to do that. You just want to do that in Star Citizen. But now that you got the custom resolutions saved and set, we're going to exit out of there. Okay, so these are all just different things. This is for the reverb, the Pimax. He's got it all. This guy's done a lot of homework, so be sure to go over there and thank him very much for his work. Okay, so step one, this can be skipped, but for prosperity's sake, this might make, not sure as to significance or not. I went ahead and did this as well, but what you're going to do is you're going to go to Steam, you're going to go to games, and you're going to add a non-Steam game to the list, and you're going to just browse. And you're going to go to Program Files, Robert Space Industries, Star Citizen Live, and then the bin 64. So right here in the Live, and then here's the user tools, screenshots. You're going to go to bin 64, and then here's the Star Citizen EXE. You're going to want to do that and then add. Might as well do that, open, and then add selected programs, right? Library, and then it should show up in your library. Okay, then what you want to do, okay, is set the category all the way down, and you want to put it in your virtual reality folder. This will show up in your Steam home. Okay, and I already have it grayed out because it's already there, but you would just basically add to, and then virtual reality, click, okay, and then you would right click on properties, and then down here, include in VR library. You have to click that checkbox, and then save, and then exit. Then logging in and out of Steam VR will allow you to see Star Citizen as just a grayed out box that you could launch from the windows there. Alright, so, oh, hang on. Hey, Dr. Oversteer, how you doing? Filming a little tutorial video today. Bit of a different thing. Okay, so now that you've got the Steam or Star Citizen in your VR launch menu list, okay, you go to optional. You basically suggest setting your Vorpex to a mouse button. I have mine currently with middle mouse button, and that seems to work fine with me. And then 3, you got to set up your Nvidia custom resolutions. So those are already done. For user CFG, we've already done that, okay? And then start Vorpex, load up Star Citizen, and log in from the launcher. All right, so I always try to run Vorpex, exit, just to get things nice and simple. I always try to start Vorpex and run it as administrator. And then boom, we could see it running in the middle. Okay, so post continued down below. So this is going to be Hmd settings as far as what you should set all that stuff into, and I'll go into that further here in a little bit, which will actually, this will be kind of a little bit hard for me to see because we're basically going to have to launch Star Citizen. Basically, whenever you load into the game, which we'll show you right now, gonna look like this, and then I'm gonna go swap over to my seat and then hop into VR.
First of all, a very warm welcome to A State of Trance New Horizons for Buenos Aires.
Okay, so
Guys ready for some of the best in trance and progressive?
alright, so there we go. You can see it's attaching to Star Citizen, and sometimes it'll give you the warning that, you know, not attaching. Okay, no, it didn't attach properly. You could tell because it does this, but basically you could kind of see what I'm looking for. We want to get a thin vertical strip as the actual resolution that this box, this window is running in. Yep, saw your setup YouTube video for 3.13. Awesome, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Okay, so as you can kind of see, it's already gone into thin strips, but it didn't really hook into my headset. And you can see proof of that if you really want to. As I said, hang on, let me alt tab here. I can change this over, and then if we go into, so that's the vertical monitor that I got, and then this is my actual VR view. I know it's a little scrunched in, but if I check out what's on the desktop, yeah. So this is what I kind of look at and see. But as you can see, the desktop is the proper size, but it hasn't loaded into my headset. So having said that, I'm going to unset all that back, pop it over to the 4K, which is my main monitor, and I'm going to look at main monitor. I was looking forward to your custom resolution video. Yeah, we're working on it. It's really hard to film, as you can tell. So we're going to quit back out of the game, and then we're going to just basically relaunch until it hooks. And then sometimes you'll get the re-verify warning. Okay, so here we go. Okay, boom. Next up, it is now launching. And this is going to be the key part, is that I'm going to do this all on my main monitor for you guys to see first. Then I'm going to swap over to my VR headset mirror mode and show you guys the exact same thing and show you what it looks like on the inside. All right? But, so now you can see the custom resolution shaping inside of my 4K monitor. All right? And then boom, it kind of loads it. And what you're looking to do here is go to options. Now, I'm already loaded at the custom resolution, but I used to be, like I said, running at the beginning of the video, like 2560. Was basically running it in 1440p, right? In borderless window. And let me make sure here. Check out the desktop. Okay, so yeah, as you can see on my 4K desktop, the game is sized into a window that's 1440, right? So now, what you're going to want to do is, in the regular resolutions, it won't let you adjust the FOV past 83. But if we go ahead and select our custom one, which is the 2180 by 2160, check. Oh yeah, you can't actually adjust the FOV in the game menu. You need to, or in the menus, you need to be in the game for it to register and adjust. But basically, he recommends in your video just running it at the resolution that you run in. Okay? And you're going to want to hit middle mouse button to do all this. And again, I'm going to show you what it looks like in my headset. You're going to hit delete, and you can't see any of this, but I'm going to show you what that looks like in a bit. And you're going to adjust all the visual settings like he recommends. With the image zoom at 1.27 and head tracking sensitivity a little bit lower and blah, blah, blah. So when you get all that done and saved, at that point, you're going to want to go back and then into persistent universe and then visit location. Once you actually load into the game, that's when you're going to want to actually select your custom resolution. And for Vive users, that's that 2180 by 2160 or something like that. Not the 2400 by 1000. We just needed that in there as a ratio for whatever reason. Okay, so this is going to take a while, so we'll cut to it whenever we get in there. Oh, but yeah, Dr. Oversteer, hope you're enjoying. You get to experience live what I'm having to deal with here. It's one thing to write it all out in a big, long kind of just write up, but it's another to actually show somebody what you're doing on your monitor and record it. And then, yeah, have it actually visible or, you know, make sense. So hopefully we'll load into Olisar here really quickly. Let's escape. Okay, cool. Make sure that everything's moving. And remember that this game is still playing in that 1440p resolution that I normally play in. As you could tell by how widescreen it is. Alright, we are loaded in. So let's get up out of the bed. Alright. And we'll get out of the... Now I'm out of the closet. Okay, so it is that regular old kind of widescreen and zoomed in kind of view that we got, right? But if we could cut it and crop it and make it a vertical screen, then our menus and stuff would all be visible. So let's do that simply by middle mouse button so you could edge peek and see, going to our graphics and the menus, and then finally going down to the 2180 by 2160. Boom. Alright, and then you hit yes, make sure it's borderless so that you can alt tab and stuff, and now your FOV slider can go, well, it's supposed to go all the way up to 115. Maybe if I select the 21... Keeping it in borderless allows you to alt-tab with Vorpex and have it not crash out. Okay, so normally you should be able to... It was letting me earlier, and it should let you go up to 114 with your FOV slider. But either way, we have the 2180 by 2160 resolution set. Okay, and then yes, I go into my desktop view, and as you can see, it's a nice vertical slice. That's the type of resolution that you want for VR viewing. Now, let me go back in game here. Okay, so if I return to game now, and as you can see, the chat is a little bit weird because it's kind of scrunched to one side and kind of spilling over and really big, but if you hit F12, it gets rid of it. And then you can see in your top right corner your little ping information. Your bottom left, in your bottom right corner, you can see the MO for once. And then in the bottom left, there'd be like oxygen and water and stuff. Bet you if we go outside, we can make that little oxygen bottle pop up real quickly. But yeah, everything, it's just scrunched in, and your field of view just works. You should be able to slide it over to 114 again. Not really sure why it's not letting me. But yeah, this is what you want it to look like on your monitor, okay? So we're going to exit to menu, and we're going to do all of that, but you're going to see what it looks like in the mirror mode. Now, here's the thing to note, is that since you changed the resolution, your position for your VR cursor versus the actual cursor on your window is slightly off. Notice how I'm slightly left? And then when I go onto the button, it won't let me click, but if I go slightly left of it, it will. So some certain things like that are going to happen. Another thing to note, I wasn't able to change any of my controls at all. None of the keyboard, none of my HOTAS, nothing on my wheel. Like when you get this custom resolution and you set it, be sure to have every single control variable and vector you can think of bound, because it will not detect anything that you're pressing at all in the menus afterwards. So we're going to quit game, like I said. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to film the whole thing, exactly what we just did, but from my point of view in the actual headset, and help you go through those other settings. So let me... Where's my mouse? Okay, so we need one. Alright, and then so this is a 1080p window, my monitor on my left, that has got my Valve Index mirror mode full screened, okay? So I'm going to basically just enlarge it so that you guys can see what's going on, alright? And then with that, I go back to monitor 1, and then you guys should be... This is what I see normally. And normally it would show the Oculus Home, but whenever you exit out of a Star Citizen with VorpX, it sometimes does or doesn't load the Oculus Home. And there's no actual button in the menus to just reload the home. I don't know why. It's really dumb, if you ask me. Maybe because they didn't encounter anybody that would actually break it and not reload it automatically. Anyway, so... you got it on your desktop 1, which is your main 4K monitor, and we are looking to just launch, acknowledge the epilepsy warning, and then, yeah, relaunch. Sometimes you got to do this over and over. I'm glad. It worked great the first time, but this is what normally happens, that I got to fight it. Then the little logo will pop up. Then the VorpX thing will say attaching, and then... you can exit out of your home. Boom. Okay, so, and remember that this little warning, track IR Control-Alt-Shift message, is always showing up on your desktop. So if you're trying to, record or show friends, always just hit Control-Alt-Shift. Alright, so boom, there. The resolution is set, and then you can see me zooming in and out. This is the edge peak feature that he says. All right, I can't show you this except if I'm recording what's going on inside the headset. But if I hit middle mouse button, boom, I get the edge peak, and I can actually look at my menus. This is still helpful even with custom resolutions. You hit delete, boom. You guys never really see this on a video tutorial unless somebody's actually using mirror mode. All right, these are all the image settings that he has listed on his post. You should go through them and check it out, and if you have a secondary monitor that you could do it, which I no longer have because I'm using my secondary monitor to record mirror mode, so you can see the difficulty it is in actually getting something like this down and record it into a video tutorial. But here's what I have kind of set if you wanted to kind of peek mine and pause it and, write it all down or something later. But he goes into more detail and has his already written down in the post that I'm going to link in my video below. Main settings, image settings. The biggest one to realize is that you got to set it from 1.0 image zoom all the way up to 1.7, because now that you have a vertical slice resolution, you want it to be properly sized in scope and like zoomed in all the way to fill up your entire HMD monitor. Okay, so anyways, you get these settings set that he has. Okay, and save. And then see, even if I'm doing the edge peak, I can't see that. So Go to persistent universe and just load up. And then you'll notice that because of the custom resolution, the actual loading screen has a default resolution that can't be changed ratio-wise, and it's cut off. So if you see that, you know it's working. Alright, so the goal of all this is going to see if this even looks like decent quality.
Hello there.
On the playback. And if it's worth a half a damn, then yeah, I'll upload this to YouTube and we'll see how it uploads, if it's in 4K or 1080p and whatnot. But this will basically give people a reference guide as well as a visual kind of look through to see what it should look like while they're following along the actual guide that the guy wrote out. So, but yeah, as you can see, I got my little chat attached to my controller that I have kind of set up on my chair, if you kind of remember how my cockpit looks like. But yeah, if you zoom out, it is now a thin vertical slice. And then your ammo counter and stuff like that, all your comms and chat. If you hit, let's see here, F12, testing. And so yeah, the window is all kind of funky because it's still the same size for resolution, but it is scrunched up against your thing. But I would just turn it off unless you're actually planning on using it, because anyways, but like I said, you still need to use the edge peak in order to get access to most menus. But when you're in full zoom mode, it definitely feels a lot more like a head on a shoulders. I will say that. It doesn't, there's not this continual extra zoom. It's a little bit different and getting used to, but once you're kind of into it, at first I didn't really notice a big difference, but then I realized just, you know, HUDs and menus and stuff in general, like everything just kind of looks a little bit more appropriately sized. So yeah, this is what it looks like in VorpX, and again, you hit the delete button and this is how you access those menu settings. And yeah, that should be it. You're now playing in a custom VR resolution in VR in Star Citizen. Remember, this is all heavy alpha. Yeah, now it's back down to 83 again. I don't know what's going on. 2400 by 1000 and 2180 by 2160. Those are definitely in the drop-down menu, so it's worked. I don't know why my FOV slider isn't working. But yeah, just this basically gives you a baseline and will let you start to troubleshoot from there. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Until next time, stay safe and fly right. Hang on here before we end. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not forgetting anything, but I believe, yeah, that should be it. I warned y'all that you can't do control binding alterations, so to make sure that all your control surfaces are bound beforehand, make sure to go to the link below to check out the guy's actual guide and give him a thumbs up and whatnot, and be sure to thank him for his hard work. Like and subscribe to the channel for all the hard work it is to videotape and film something like this. And then if you ever catch me live, holler at me at my Twitch channel and say what's up. Thank you guys very much, I guess, and we'll see you later. We got a new PC coming in next week, so I guess it's time to finally film my current setup and then what I have planned for my next setup, as well as my VR green screen wall and many other things to come. So yeah, thank you guys very much. Stay tuned. And as always, stay safe and fly right. I'm doing hand motions, and I realize that I'm not on my streaming computer and there are no cameras pointed at me. Jesus Christ. Alright, y'all have a good one. Not around midnight or so, I'll probably hop into VR Citizen, and then we'll be doing the new vertical resolution stuff. I'm not sure how I'll be able to record or stream that, because as you saw, it's just kind of a vertical slice, so I'm going to have to... Yeah, this is going to be interesting. And I also can't use my streaming computer, because in order to use this this custom resolution, I can't have my Elgato streaming card plugged in. So, yeah. We're gonna figure that out tonight, I guess. We'll burn those bridges as we cross them. Anyways, you have a good one too, buddy. Thank you for dropping by, and for the rest of you all, thank you for tuning in, watching, liking, subscribing, doing what you do. Stay safe and fly right. See, the crowd likes it.
Joined us, a very warm